Hi guys, I'm Helly. New Switch, new Mario Kart. Y'all have seen the trailer. We're here to do the best thing to do for these types of games. Let's talk about the roster, speculate about the roster. So that's what we're really here to do today. So based off this page from the Mario Wiki, very reliable source, probably the most goated video game wiki on the internet, honestly. It's looking like a lot of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe roster is coming back. Like Pauline and King Boo, who were both part of the Deluxe of Deluxe. Okay, Pauline was DLC or Deluxe, and she's here. King Boo was just in Deluxe, not in 8. He's here. I think it's safe to assume they're taking like a Smash 4, like Smash Wii U, Smash 3DS to Smash Ultimate kind of approach here, where they're building off of the previous game. Like they're just going to straight up use it as a foundation, as a base to build this up. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to assume that we're starting off with 8 Deluxe's full DLC roster. So if you look here, I've taken the liberty of recreating the 8 Deluxe roster in Super Smash Bros. Roster Maker, the application. So here you go. Here's a point of reference here, but you know, we can just go ahead and put whoever we want in here. So look, if I wanted to, yeah, Mimikyu, but unfortunately they will not be making the cut today. But that begs the question, who will be making the cut today? Let's start with our returning characters. So first of all, let's bring back Rob from Mario Kart DS. Look, I'm gonna drag him right over here. Rob has been in a kind of not really sorry state, but he's sort of in a weird position that a lot of guys are in right now, where it's like he has no franchise of his own to call home. He's basically a Smash Bros refugee in the same way that like Ice Climbers or Captain Falcon are. It's the only thing keeping him on life support. But let's not forget, the first time Rob came back before Brawl was in Mario Kart DS, a whole 2-3 years before Brawl even came out. For our next returning character, we have Robo Mario. Now, Robo Mario is from Mario Kart Arcade GP. He's also in GP2. These are Mario Kart arcade games, the older ones. You've probably seen them at like your arcade or something like that. He's not actually playable, but you can race against him. But I figured, you know, I'd take a few creative liberties here and just put him on the roster. So yeah, let's drag him in. We got our next returning character, the Honey Queen from Mario Kart 7. Now, the Honey Queen, she is originally from Super Mario Galaxy. You know, bee mushroom, bee planet, you crawl on her. You know how it is. I remember a lot of people when 7 came out, they were like upset and baffled by some of the roster decisions, because you had like Metal Mario, Honey Queen, Wiggler, and then no Waluigi. However, she's such like out there, weird, like fuck you choice. I feel like she deserves to make a comeback just because I think it'd be really funny. There we have Honey Queen. Ooh la la. So additionally, if it were up to me, duplicate characters like Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, Metal Mario, and Pink Gold Peach, they would be going the way of the dinosaurs. They would not be here on this roster anymore, and they would just be like alt costumes. So next up on our returning characters section, we have a subsection, if you will, of just Mario Kart Tour characters. There's a lot of Tour exclusive characters, and a lot of 8 Deluxe's DLC in the first place was just content pulled straight from Tour. Pretty much every newcomer was just a character they had already added in Tour. Most of the stages that they pulled from were just Tour stages ported over to 8 Deluxe. So I have no reason to think that they wouldn't just make things easier for themselves and just keep bringing stuff over from Tour. I mean, it makes sense. They already put in the resources. They already have the assets. So might as well, right? And speaking of might as well, let's put in Nabbit. Nabbit. Take a look at him. He's a personal favorite of mine. Let's port him over from Tour and let's just have Nabbit in. And continuing on with our little Tour streak, we have Poochie from Yoshi's Island. Now, I think Poochie is definitely one of the cooler picks that they've done for Tour, just because it's like, whoa, hey Poochie, it's just cool to have him there. And I think it'd be a little extra cool if he was just playable in Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart Switch 2, Mario Kart, whatever subtitle they go with. Do you think they're gonna go with 9? Do you think they're gonna go with something else? Let me know in the comments below. Let's engagement bait. And on that note, let's keep this going. Another day, another Tour character, Dixie Kong. This one is almost a no-brainer, but Dixie Kong gets cut from a lot of things. Brawl for one, but not this time. We are bringing Dixie Kong over. Oh wait, let's mark everybody in red. Ooh la la. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Our next Tour character, Captain Toad of Super Mario Galaxy fame, of Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker fame, of Super Mario 3D World fame. Let's bring him on over. Look at that. Captain Toad, chilling with Captain Toadette. Do you think Captain Toad is the prime Toad? Like, do you think Captain Toad is the Toad of all Toads? Or do you think it's regular Toad who is the Toad of all Toads? Or Blue Toad, Yellow Toad, like the new Super Mario Bros. Toads? I don't know. This is a subject that could be debated later. And now for our very last tour refugee, it's King Babam. King Babam, he's a pretty cool guy. He made it all the way over here from Super Mario 64. And you know, he's sort of had a presence, you know, being sprinkled into a couple spin-offs here and there. You've seen him around, but I think now it's finally time to see him around in Mario Kart Switch 2. Mario Kart 9. Can we go with 9? I mean, it's not really the 9th game. He's here, and we're making him red. And now for the most exciting part of the video, the new characters. So I was kind of like grappling in my head. Should I go in sequential order? Should I just go in a random order? So what we're going to do is we're going to go in a sequential order of, you know, most of the characters. And at the very end, we're going to sprinkle in some fun never ever choices, which won't be in any particular order other than the one that I've designated for them. So yeah, I hope you guys will stick around and let's get to it. Now for our earliest newcomer on the roster, I have a choice that hopefully you guys will think is interesting. It's Foreman Spike. Now, are we doing it for some movie synergy? Are we doing it because it's cool? This guy actually made it to the Mario movie while oh so many didn't. And Foreman Spike is kind of like a, almost not necessarily a deep cut, but he is one that your average person definitely isn't going to know about. Wrecking Crew, 1985. How many of you had actually played Wrecking Crew? Raise your hands in the comments if you have. If not, let's keep it rolling. One thing I do want to sort of think about and speculate is what will his appearance look like if, you know, he were to be in our little theoretical Mario Kart 9. You know, stick with me here. Would he be wearing his brown construction garb? Would he be sort of like blue, like in the Mario movie? Another pivotal question. Would his beard be like brown? Would it be blue? Point is, there's a lot of things to take into consideration with this one, but we're moving on. Next up, we have a small onslaught of Mario Bros 2 picks. Let's start off with an easy pick, Ninja. Ninja has been popping up in a whole bunch of spin-offs these days, including the new Mario Party. This is low-key a big deal, okay? Newest Mario Party for the Switch, Jamboree. He is one of 2 unlockable characters with Miss Pauline, who, as you might remember, is already in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and is already in this one. So things are looking up for our little Ninja. Let's keep it going. We got Wart, big bad of Mario 2. Sort of forgotten character. I mean, this guy does not get to show up often at all. But check out this this artwork. I mean, we have a decent idea of what he'd look like. I think it could work. I think, you know, it's time. 2025. How many years of Mario? 40 years of Super Mario. Feel me? Like almost 45 years of Mario. I feel like we can go back. Let's celebrate a little bit. Our little plumber has a vast and storied history, including this guy Wart, and including our next pick, Mauser, also from Mario 2. Mauser, he's a pretty cool guy. He throws bombs, he has sunglasses, and he's sort of like a sub-boss of Mario 2. And let's not forget Birdo, Mario spin-off game mainstay legend is from Mario 2, and including Shy Guy, Mario spin-off game legend, Mario 2. So I figure Mario 2 can be represented by more than just a Shy Guy and Birdo. Let's bring everybody in here. Big old fun party. Maybe next time we bring in the snake guy, but I honestly don't feel too strongly about them, so they might not make it that far. So here we are right now, looking pretty good so far. Foreman, Spike, Wart, Mauser, Ninja. Oh, right, hold on, let me move these guys over to the side. There's one more guy I forgot. We got Mr. Stanley from Donkey Kong 3, but you know what? We're going not even nostalgia bait. Who has nostalgia for Stanley? And you know, the intent with this is that they give him like a sort of a Smash Bros. Pit overhaul. You know, you take a guy who basically doesn't exist, and you spruce him up a little bit for the next gen. I think this picture here is his Melee trophy. So let's back it up a little bit. Who's next? It's actually the viruses from Dr. Mario. That's right, plural, multiple. I figure you have red, you have blue, you have yellow, you just stack them on top of each other, plop them in a cart, and that is our next pick, viruses. So who could possibly come after the viruses? Well, of course, it's Undo Dog from Mario Paint and Mario Maker 1 and 2. Now, why Undo Dog? Honestly, I just mess with him. I think it's cool to have Undo Dog. I don't know, I mess with Undo Dog's design. I feel like it'd be cool if he was just like a dog driving. He'd kind of look like how he does in the Mario Maker 2 story mode. Chill ass dog. feel me? Okay, so who's next? Paper Mario. This one kind of feels like a no-brainer. Like they could easily make like a cute cart design out of this. Like the whole gimmick with him is, you know, it'd be like a Game & Watch sort of thing. Like he's flat on the front, flat on the back. There's zero depth to him. He just flips around, switches through his, I don't know, paper poses and stuff like that. Who knows? Paper Mario. It kind of writes itself. All right, let's keep it going. Up next, EGAD, GameCube era legend. Luigi's Mansion mainstay. EGAD, he made the flood. He made Luigi's vacuum thing. He's goated, basically. And he was going to be in DS, but they took him out. How could they do such a thing? It honestly makes a lot of sense. Like, I don't know who's getting hyped to play as EGAD, but I feel like he just is one of those guys that kind of has to be there. Now, we got somebody kind of like EGAD. The GameCube legend, 2000s era Mario spin-off game legend. It's Toadsworth. Now, Toadsworth hasn't been seen in a while. Toadsworth has been MIA for a long time. He hasn't really been around much last 10-15 years, other than like popping up in some remakes, doing little cameos here and there, but you know, he's not really where he used to be. I feel like it'd be chill having Toadsworth. Like, I feel like you need like 2 old guys. So we have like our old guy quota. We hit our old guy quota for this game. So who's next? Who is next? Who could possibly be next? Why, it's Mario from Super Mario Maker. Not too much to say about this one, honestly. I just feel like she'd be a really interesting pick. Sort of like in the same vein as an Undo Dog or something like that. Like, you're not really expecting it, but you know, it adds a little bit of diversity in the roster, just sprinkling it up. Next up, had the Super Mario Odyssey, Costa Rican. Not really all that much to say about these guys. I just like their designs a lot. Little sugar skull thing going on, little sombrero hat. Like, this is a really cool design to just leave rot in Odyssey. Like, Odyssey sold a whole lot of units, and they haven't really milked a lot of the NPCs, the supporting characters for this game. Like, they haven't milked it for all it's worth yet. Like, if this were like a Nintendo, like, let's say back like GameCube era, well, every game on there had like mad sunshine representation. The little piantas and stuff like that would be in everything. But for some reason, these guys have not been paraded around like crazy. I don't get it, but we're parading them in here, so it's okay. And for our next Odyssey rep, we have Harriet. Now, being real with you guys, I was really tempted to just put all of the Brutals, all of those 4 wedding rabbits. You remember them, right? The bosses? You played Odyssey, right? Anyways, I was really tempted to put all 4 of them, but I'm going to be real. The only one that I feel like people would even be like, oh, cool, is like Harriet. It's like the Koopalings. When there's just so many of them, it's like, it's just too much. Like, imagine I put all 4 of them in. Nobody gives a fuck about the other 3. Or not nobody, but a significantly smaller portion of the audience would even care about them. Do you even remember their names? Valid question. All right, next up, another favorite of mine, we have Prince Florian from Super Mario Wonder. Prince Florian is a tiny little caterpillar. That's it, really. And for our next Wonder rep, we have Elephant Mario. This is sort of like a Cat Peach situation. I feel like they're gonna find an excuse to shove more Marios into this game. We already have one ourselves, Paper Mario. I figure Elephant Mario, it's an easy Wonder rep. I don't think you could just make Elephant Mario a skin of regular Mario like you could easily do for like Tanuki Mario or Metal Mario. I feel like Elephant Mario is just like such a significant size change that, yeah, it kind of just makes sense to have them be their own character. So there he is. Honestly, this is a character choice that I feel kind of confident in making. Like, I feel like out of the characters I've added, somehow Elephant Mario seems more likely than 90% of them. Maybe I'm just cynical, but I feel like that's how it is. Now, next up, let's go a little further away, a little outside the core Mario territory. We're heading into something closer to spin-offs. I know I had Wrecking Crew, but honestly, there's a lot more Wrecking Crew characters I could have put, but I don't want to be a fraud. I haven't played any Wrecking Crew game. I just feel like Foreman Spike makes sense. You know, Stanley, another weird pick, kind of like that, but at least I've played Donkey Kong 3. So it feels kind of valid putting him in. But for our next pick, we have Ashley of WarioWare fame. Very popular character. She just makes a lot of sense. It's good WarioWare representation. And I feel like more people are going to be happy with this inclusion than most of the other WarioWare casts. Other than Wario himself, of course. You could put the WarioWare Wario in the game as like a costume for Wario. That just kind of makes sense. Next up, we got another Donkey Kong Country rep. It's King K. Rool. King K. Rool made it to Smash, and I honestly feel like he'd just be a cool pick for Mario Kart. Another bad guy on the roster, somebody for DK to go up against. Speaking of some cool guys, let's do Mallow and Gino from Super Mario RPG. And now, our last couple additions. Who could possibly be next? Next up, we have Fawful from the Mario & Luigi series, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Bowser's Inside Story specifically is what I remember Fawful the most for. That's like a goated childhood game. And Fawful is one of those goated RPG villains. Honestly, in terms of Mario RPG villains, you don't get much better than Fawful. Now, unfortunately for anybody thinking of a few other options, I'm cutting it short at Fawful today. I'm not putting Dementia or nothing like that. Let's settle down a little bit. And honestly, I'm thinking one more pick. Let me have some fun with it. We're putting in Wild Peach. She doesn't even exist, but I just kind of want to see her in the game. So let's just make that happen. Wild Peach, there's a lot of lore supposed to be in Mario Tennis. Ended up just not happening. Then pictures of her 3D model, concept art get posted online, and then the Nintendo ninjas take them down. You know, I just realized it has not been showing any of these new characters I've been putting down. Let me just move them over here. Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of new characters. So I think it's time to clean up this roster a little bit, and I'll show you guys the final results. All right, so as you can see, we've made a bit of progress. You know, kind of having a hard time sorting some of it out, but it's a decent shape right now, I'd say. We could break down the logic a little bit. You know, you got some recurring characters. It kind of falls apart at the end up here. You know, then we have like species, maybe. You got a Yoshi. You got all the Toads. The Koopa, Shy Guy, Lakitu, Wiggler, Toaster Renin. You got Prince Florian at the end. He just kind of made sense there. We got all the babies. So these are basically like the alt versions of the characters. This row came out nice and clean. Low-key proud of this one. You got all the babies. You got the medals. And then you have like the alt forms. And here, we got Bowser's Goons. All these guys have been like kind of affiliated with each other. Or they're like kind of royalty. Bad royalty, you feel me? We got Bowser, Junior, Kamek, Dry Bowser, Dry Bones, King Babum, King Boo, Petey, Nabbit, Harriet, Fawful. Shit, then we got the Koopalings down here. I don't even want them in the game. Honestly, I'd kill them off. We got Wario, Waluigi, Wild Peach, Ormus Spike. You know, I figured he could be in cahoots with like a bunch of bad dudes. Yeah, Ashley. He's like a by extension of Wario. You know what I mean? Like Wario extended family. Then you got the Mario 2 reps. You have viruses. They just kind of made sense here. I don't really know where else I'd put them. You have the DKs. I don't know where to put them either. And this is kind of like the whatever column. You have, you know, all like the not Mario characters. You got Stanley, Fushi, Underdog, Mario, Honey Queen. Honestly, didn't know where to put them. I feel like it makes sense. Let's, you know, just take a second to soak in the roster. Let it simmer a little bit. Let that sink in. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me piece together my own little Mario Kart 9 dream roster. You know, I feel like I'm missing a couple, but let me know if there's any that you definitely saw me miss in the comments below. If you enjoyed yourself, consider doing the algorithm things. And regardless, I'll see you guys next time. So bye and peace.